It begins quietly, not with a thunderclap, not with a scandal splashed across headlines, but with a slow, nearly imperceptible drift. A leader stands beneath the spotlight, the edges of his form blurred by shadows, alone on a stage that once echoed with conviction and purpose. The pedestal beneath him, once smooth and unyielding, now reveals the faintest cracks, hairline fractures that threaten the very foundation on which he stands. The audience cannot see them, not yet, but the erosion has begun. Let anyone who thinks he stands take heed, lest he fall. The words of 1 Corinthians 10:12 echo as a confident figure surveys a precipice, unaware of the danger at his heels. Pride goes before destruction. The ancient warning of Proverbs 16:18, symbolized by a crumbling stone tower, majestic in its day, now surrendering stone by stone to time and hubris. In the quiet hours behind closed doors and drawn curtains, temptation slithers in the form of a passing shadow across a desk, subtle as a whisper. The phone sits disconnected. The Bible, its cover closed, gathers dust beneath a wilting flower. The leader's prayers, once fervent, have become rote, a mat left unused in a corner. What was once a vibrant wellspring has begun to dry like a desert landscape stretching endlessly beneath a searing sun. Here, in this barren place, we recall Elijah under the lone tree in 1 Kings 19, isolated, exhausted, longing for restoration. This is the anatomy of a slow fade. Rarely is it one great leap, but rather a series of small steps, a glance, a compromise, a moment of unchecked pride. The world applauds the appearance of strength, the outward confidence, even as the internal scaffolding weakens. The overflow of the heart, once filled with zeal and humility, now trickles away, grain by grain, like sand spilling from an overflowing hourglass. Time, once an ally, now becomes an urgent reminder. None of us is immune. Pedestals were never meant to be lived upon. They elevate for a moment, but their heights isolate. Their stones erode. A leader left alone and unaccountable is vulnerable to the very temptations that felled the giants of old. The serpent, seldom seen, works in subtlety, never blatant, but always present, a dark shape, moving just beyond the edge of the light. In this fragile, tension-laden space, the fragility of strength is exposed. The hands that once gripped the word now hesitate. The voice that declared hope falters in the silence. But the story does not end in desolation. Psalm 51:10 pleads, "Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me." There is water for washing, hands cupped beneath a gentle stream, as the first light of dawn breaks over the darkness. Restoration begins not with concealment, but with confession. James 5:16 exhorts us, "Therefore, confess your sins to one another and pray for one another, that you may be healed." In a circle of diverse hands, clasped together in honest prayer, a tearful confession is met not with shame, but with grace. Redemption is not a solitary endeavor. It is forged in the context of authentic community. Small groups gathered in living rooms, honest conversation in hushed tones, the warm glow of candlelight flickering in the darkness. Consider Samson, whose arrogance led to chains and blindness, yet whose brokenness became the birthplace of deliverance. The snapped chains and frayed ropes of Judges 16 remind us that even those who fall can be restored. Or Nebuchadnezzar, whose pride built kingdoms and whose humiliation sent him into exile, only to find humility in the fields beneath storm-laden skies. Daniel 4 paints the contrast. Skyscrapers reaching to the clouds, humbled by the vastness of an open field, where a single figure kneels in surrender. The hour is urgent. The foundations, if left unattended, will continue to erode. A wilting flower beside a neglected Bible is more than a symbol. It is a call to vigilance, to honest self-examination. The slow fade does not announce its arrival. It creeps in the unnoticed moments, the unchecked thought, the prayer left unsaid. But hope is not lost. Where there is humility, where there is a willingness to step down from the pedestal and kneel among brothers and sisters, there the Spirit breathes new life. The warmth of redemption seeps in, golden hour light, illuminating faces gathered in prayer. No fanfare, just the quiet strength of the forgiven. It is here, in confession and community, that the lonely are brought in from the desert, the isolated find companionship, and the broken are bound up. The path to restoration is not glamorous. It is gritty, marked by truth-telling and the willingness to be seen as we truly are. Strength is not found in standing alone, but in kneeling together. The church is not a gallery of untouchable saints, but a hospital for the wounded, a place where leaders and followers alike confess their need for grace.